So this is it, huh? Nine streams, eight endings, like 10 bad ones in the process or something. I didn't even count. Whew. There are way too many things that are yet to be answered. There are some we already know the answer to, but it's just not enough. We don't know what the fuck is going on. And, well, we will. So, yeah, stick around and join me as we finally get through the last moments of Virtue's Last Reward. It's going to be a doozy. Just a song called Clarification. Gee, I wonder if it was intentional. But yeah. Strap in, guys. Everything else is done. Except for this long ass route. So let's just get it done with. Alright, so when we last left off, as in when we had to stop on this route because we didn't know, hey, we have the number 2 bomb code this time around. So let's put that in. This text doesn't change. Because we've seen it already. Let's go across the bottom bar. When I'm done, hit me up and I'll tell you what I have it set like. Okay, so EQD, DYR, and TK. Good. EQD, DYR, and TK. Remember when I said,
damn, this is crazy,
ages ago, like when we first got a password, that I actually knew all of the passcodes off the top of my head? I wasn't kidding. I saw this, forgot everything past the first 3 letters, but I knew what the others were. When I get the secret which tells us how it works, I will tell you why I know them all.
So you did know it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, don't scare me like that, alright?
Come on, it's not like I was hiding it. I just couldn't remember it at first. Then it just kind of floated up. Or maybe it drifted down?
Whatever. Point is, we disarmed the thing. Amazing.
You sure don't sound very amazed.
Okay. That just leaves us with the last bomb.
Shed tears of joy, I've arrived.
It's
in the garden.
Right. Let's go take care of it while you're on a roll with these things.
Ugh, you make it sound so easy.
Well, don't just stand there. Let's go!
Okay. Had to get something more than water for tonight, because it's special. Okay. Raspberry lemonade, let's go. She spun around and was gone. I gripped the input device tightly and headed off after her. Where's number 0 though? Oh, that's right! I don't think we know... Shit. Where is... Fuck, where... Were we ever told where it was?
Finally. The last one.
Yeah.
How many minutes left?
Less than 10.
It's okay. We can still make it. Just stay calm, all right?
Mm-hmm. You drink that isn't water.
You have the input device?
Yes, sir. Alright. Yeah. There we go. Connected.
Okay, go. We've done
Go?
this twice already. Do you really need a third pep talk?
You want me to remember another password, right?
Exactly. What else would I be talking about?
But,
Don't sweat it. You did great the last 2 times.
yeah, but like, it's not easy, Fi.
I'm sure this one will be a cakewalk. 3rd time's the charm, right?
If only you knew. That's, not really how that's used. I'm just worried that lightning's not gonna strike twice, or thrice in this case, I guess.
No, I think mine still works. There's nothing to suggest the 1st and 2nd times aren't charmed, too.
I guess so.
Whatever. Just do it. You're the only person who can.
What about you? You can jump to underworlds too, right?
Yeah, but I can't remember things as well as you, all right? I'm doing the best I can, but either I haven't seen the stuff you have, or I just can't remember it. Maybe we've been going to different worlds. Anyway.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I'm counting on you.
The password. Remember, Sigma. Come on, lightning can strike twice. Or even 3 times. You can do it. You did it before. You did it twice before. This is nothing. You're a champion. Come on, Sigma, you can do this. Pull open the door to your memories. And I think this one is going to be BQZ? Yeah. BQZ RGJ DXR. Yeah! Suck on that, dear, you arrogant son of a bitch! Ah, that feels good. I haven't felt this satisfied in ages. It's like my whole brain is just swimming in endorphins. I feel like it's just gonna melt and dribble out my ears. This is, without a doubt, what heaven feels like. Honestly, I feel like I could fly right now. Hell, I almost wish there was another bomb so I could feel this again. Isn't this great? Fly? Yeah, Sigma. You're really hard. Yeah, there's like a. Would it really kill you to smile? You just saved everybody. No, you didn't. Not yet. Oh, also, not that I needed anything, but it sure would be nice to get a thank you or something. Oh, thank you, Sigma. You're the greatest. You're so awesome. I'll dress up in that swimsuit for you, just like I promised. I mean, just a swimsuit thing would be fine, really, but. Are you even listening to me?
I am. You said you wished there was another bomb, right?
Well, I don't really.
I hope you're happy. You're going to get your wish.
What?
I remembered something too. Just a glimpse. We must have confronted Dio about the bombs. I'm not sure how, but we got him to tell us about them.
Exactly. I've planted 4 bombs. They're the ones numbered 1, 2, and 3. But there's also one more. Bomb number 0.
I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. Suddenly I remembered it too. I'd heard Dio say those very words in the 4B warehouse. No. No way.
Looks like you remember it too.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
Wait, 5 minutes? Oh shit. We got 4 minutes.
Well, hurry up! We need to get to the 0 bomb.
Right. I yanked the input device out of the bomb and turned to chase after it. What are you just sitting there for? What are you just standing there for? Go! Show me where the bomb is!
What? Are you telling me you don't know where it is? You have got to be kidding me!
How the hell would I know where the bomb is? Oh. Oh shit, you don't know? She bit her lip and nodded. Damn it. What the hell are we supposed to do now? We can't deactivate the bomb if we don't know where the damn thing is.
Calm down. Just calm down. You need to think, Sigma. There has to be a clue somewhere. Pretend you're Dio. You need to hide the bomb. Where would you hide something important?
Hide something important.
Right.
Hide. Hide. If it was Dio, where would I hide? Ah! Oh. Oh.
Sigma, wait! Where are you going?
Don't follow me. Go find the others.
Idiot!
You plan on going through the TV again? Yes. Not like ASAP as ASAP because I need a break. I've come to terms with the fact that doing these nearly every other day is starting to get to me, especially since I do it at stupid times. So I might need like a week break or something.
Do you really think I'd do that?
I could hear her following me. There was no time to argue. Instead, I focused on my goal. There was still time. Can I skip this? Yes, I can. Just go upstairs. Oh. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Here?
Yeah. Should be between these Xavier rooms. Good, I was right. Oh. Right, since the knife is usually there, if there's no knife, then Dio just put the bomb there. That's ingenious, actually. How much time do we have left?
About a minute.
Shit!
Hurry!
I'm hurrying as fast as I can. Hey, well, hello, Raiden. Glad to see you, at least for the ending. The input device was plugged in. I was ready to go. Now I just had to enter the password. But what was the password? I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd already used up my third time charm. Still, I had to try. I shook my head and concentrated. And this is actually, no, this was the fourth. This was the second kill we got, I think. Yes, that is indeed it. Alex, A, Q, N, S, G, D, Q. My thanks for making me not have to check memo. It stopped.
Yeah.
Fi and I crumpled to the ground. The adrenaline that had sustained us suddenly gone.
How did you know it was here? Did you see it in another history?
It's hard to explain. The short version is that Dio hit something here, in another timeline. I guessed maybe he'd put the bomb here too.
Pretty good guess.
Yeah. So, for the record, Sigma saved all of these people on a sheer goddamn guess. If he'd guessed wrong, we'd be done by this point. Fucking amazing.
Well, you did it. So, thanks.
Oh, I don't need any thanks. Just,
Just what?
about that swimsuit you promised.
What? What on earth are you talking about?
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes.
This is bad. The white doors have opened. We need to hurry. Everyone else is waiting for us in the Floor B warehouse.
Yeah, Demon is like... I think of all the people watching right now, Demon's completely fucked because he saw me play through ZTD and he knows things he shouldn't. He's like going at a lot of this. What about the swimsuit?
What the hell are you going on about? Just go!
Before I could protest, she turned and ran toward the magenta door. I sighed and headed off after her. I forgot everything about ZTD somehow. Yes! Now don't worry, Demon won't say anything. Oh yes you do, Isaac! I ran into the warehouse to find everyone else already there. They'd done as I asked and brought the 3 unconscious members of our party back to the doors. It should be obvious. If you guys are going to discuss things that you should only know in ZTV, please take it to PMs or something. Because I know at least 2 or 3 people here are actually 100% blind and they want to be for the rest of the thing. And I kind of want to keep them that way. Fly and I shared a quick glance and headed over toward them.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad you're safe.
So, did you disable the bombs?
Yeah. I could have done it in my sheep.
Don't you mean in your sleep? Oh my... Thank you! Thank you so much! Yeah, good job, you guys.
No need to thank me. Although, I mean, if you insist, wouldn't mind a little swimsuit time?
What? Huh? You're disgusting.
Can also
1 minute remains.
We need to hurry.
You can just watch me play later. when I
Everybody
get
know
to
who's
it.
in their group?
Yeah, I'm set.
All right, then let's move.
Tired. I could probably do it myself. Like, it only got to me because I did a bunch of days in a row, on top of having a fucked up sleep schedule. When I get myself in order, it should be fine. We're starting it today? No way. This is gonna take like 5 hours. At Temuji's command, we broke off into our teams. Kay carried Cork on his back and dragged Dio along the floor and through the white door and left. Oh yeah, because Dio's out! Clara and Luna carried Alice through the door on the right. And Temuji, Fire, and myself ran through the center door.
10 seconds. 9, 8,
7.
6, 5, 4,
We finally get to go
3,
through the center white door.
1, 0. Chromatic doors closing.
Finish the scan. And this is the final puzzle room. Q. What the? What the hell? There's nothing here.
Well, there are doors. The one we came in. And that one, which I'm assuming is the exit.
Yep, figures. Won't budge.
The plaque on the door just said Q.
Q. What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Really? Now someone's just being a smartass.
Huh?
Nothing. Maybe the Q is for question.
Well, I guess it is a very questionable room.
If there was a deck of cards here, maybe the Q would be for Queen.
That's a quality guess right there.
Right. Well, we need to get out of here. Let's find a way to get the door open.
We also need to find the star keys.
The puzzle sucks. The puzzles are fine.
I've
I
got
like
enough
this
BP
room.
to open the door. You guys need to play the AB game some more.
Like, from a, trying to put this into words. Oh, shit,
Yeah.
we still need a few more points.
If we can get those star keys, we should be able to play the AB game as many times as we need to. So...
It's just a matter of time until we get the points we need.
right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to word that, like, well, let's get started then.
Good.
Okay.
As, like, a final puzzle, as quote-unquote the final boss of the game, I truly believe that it is really well executed. But, like, okay. Room's empty. You're gonna see it immediately. The cube is just floating. Yeah, okay, so this is how it works. Is this Minesweeper? Yes, to an extent. But yeah, okay, so this part is going to be Minesweeper. Basically, whenever you look at the code of the cube in the center, you'll be looking at trying to find where the mines are, quote unquote. So this side has numbers on it, of course, and they correspond to things on this side. So let me just get this done. Whoa, what the hell? There's more of them. And you're just gonna see. Wait, not that? Huh. Okay, so it's just that one, alright. Is there anything else on this room? Okay, so this area doesn't have any more. Alright. So that's one of our puzzles. We can... Fuck! Alright. Now let's look at this wall. Shit. Alright. So 1, 2, 3. There are 8 of these. Alright. Those 2? Yes. Is there more on this wall? No, that is it. Yeah, the darts are back. 1, 2, 3 for this one, I believe. Yes, sir. Also, I low-key absolutely love the song for Kirum. There's the darts. So 1, 2, 3 modules, 4, 5. We're missing 3. Let's check this wall. So 4. I'll let the game do that for me. think there's one right here as well. Where is it? Oh, it's all of this. All right. The dreaded. All right. Is there anything else? All systems okay. So all the puzzles are solved. Or what? Well, the cube is solved. All right. Okay. Yeah. That's the term I was thinking of. This is basically the game's final exam. What do you remember? Okay. So I gotta make this all right. Fuck. There. Did I solve it? And we get, oh, nice, binder and a card. All right. What's in the binder? Q chamber special AV game. Oh boy. I think I remember what this is. Do you guys remember in 999 the puzzle room that was inside the library? I don't mean like the library itself. We found like a different escape sequence inside of an escape sequence. How that thing had its own like pseudo notary game happening. We basically have to do the same thing here. Archival file, was it AV Game Q edition? They're darts! And there's a card there, which I kinda need. Seen somewhere in this building before. Yeah. Use the whole pizza? Ooh. I won't question it. Get a score of 100 with 3 darts. Green, blue, red. Okay. So I gotta get to 100. This is triple, right? Okay. Green. I'm 11 short. Green. What's the biggest number I can get out of blue? And then red? That's 26. That's not gonna be enough. I need 33 for that. Oh. It just clicked instantly. Yo, I do what? Okay, yeah, Sam was just showing off. I'm okay with this. I'm a fair man. Sure, like, yeah, he just walks back like what, 9 feet? That's 7 feet, right? A little. Alright. It's 2 down. Well, that's a screen we can't interact with. And the safe, which you can't do anything with. There are 4 books here. No, I want to turn around. Thank you. Nothing right here. Oh, find books. Blue dye, green dye, and a red dye. Okay. Oh no. Oh, okay, so I see what it looks like. Yeah, let's just fucking get this done with. A 1 and a 5. Needs to be up 1, so up 1. No. Right. Like that? Not quite. But it'll do, I don't give a shit. And then I need a 5 over there. Those arrow keys. Oh, that works? I didn't know that. Thank you. That makes this way easier. 3 and 4. So where's the 3? 3 should be right there, so... Is it aligned properly? No, it's not. Is it aligned now? No, it's not. I'll just hope it's the way it works like this. A 6 here? And a 2 here. Okay, so they need to be aligned properly. Fuck. Spot, but it's rotated badly. Like that? Yes, okay. So 5 over there with a 4 and a 1. So what else? The 3 with a 2 and a 6. So I'm gonna guess it's this die? Right? Yes, actually, that was perfect. So this needs a 4 with a 2 and a 1. Just like that. Yeah. 6 with a 2 and a 4. I'm guessing it's this one. Yeah. Why don't you just pick up the dice Sigma? And that needs to be the 2, so let's just do this. Yeah. Got it. Give me the card. Gimme. Okay. Let me just check something real quick. Not here. I'm missing one. What is this thing? Oh, yeah, you need the cards. Follow them in there. CD in your soul is consistent with a single person. Choose a vote for the US parry or ally betray. Oh, it's straight up. Okay. So let me see this again. 3 people will definitely choose ally. 3 people will definitely choose betray. 1 mysterious mirror man. He will always do whatever his opponent does. So this is telling us that there's 2 solutions to this puzzle. First answer, 6 people win. Second answer, only we win. So let's just do this. See what happens. This ally? If we ally again. Oh no, fuck, because they all have to pass, right? Is he Mirror Man though? Let's see. Okay, C is Mirror Man, okay. Alright. Let me just get this done real quick. DC, I don't care too much. A&E always betray, B and D always ally, and C is the Mirror Man. I think that's how it works, correct? He'll always do whatever his opponent does. Okay. Strive for 9 with 6 cooperators. So if we know that C always mirrors us. No, but this is gonna fuck up because two people. Yes, I am aware, but like going by that logic. Right? So this should work, maybe? Okay. Yeah, but I did this before. I just had people dying, and it didn't count for that. Because of that, I believe. Alright. That's one of the passwords, I guess. Now we must be the only survivors. So, who was always ally? E? Alright. And now we know that B always allies and that A never does, so you mirror and you mirror as well. Shit. E is always betray. Oh, fuck. C's a Mirror Man, so you need D because you always ally. Mirror Man, whatever. So you guys get no points, you guys get no points. Let me get some of that. A&E again is... Let's do this instead. Give me your points. So E always betrays, so does A. B and D are donezo, and I can mirror all I want, it doesn't matter. That's the other one. Star. Go mess with. I clicked the safe. Thank you. Here we go, guys. The last safe in the game. But you didn't see anything. You did not see anything. Shit. Okay. And if we bother to check the archive. And I'm not gonna click anymore. That was indeed the last golden archive, but I'm not clicking right just yet. Let's check what the last one. Hold up, I'm missing this. Sun, moon. False with degrees to these. So will your password reveal the same thing? No. Every escape sequence has two passwords. One blue, one green. Blue will always give you the golden files. Green is the one you need to actually progress with the game. Let's see what's here. First off, the star keys. Oh. 2 bottles. This key should do the trick. I need to check something. Oh, it only tells me afterwards. You're a bitch. Fine, let's fail. So let me check just in case I missed something. Yeah, I don't see it. You guys ready? You ready for this? You ready for this? You ready for this? 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Bottles can't be used. Why wouldn't they, like... We used 2 bottles before without any issues.
Huh.
Every time you do that, I feel a little more made fun of. Do what? Before I actually go forward... Okay, so I didn't miss anything. Good.
It opened.
We should get back to the Floor A warehouse then.
Hey, wait. Did you guys hear something?
What?
You didn't hear it? It came from over there. I'm sorry if it makes you feel like that, I won't do it. But I just think it's really funny. Oh. See, I told you the screen wasn't on before.
You're right. Guess it was set to turn on when we opened the door.
It looks like an authentication screen. I think we need to put in an ID and a password.
Yeah, but what?
That was when I noticed the illustration. The lion is eating the sun. Remember death if the 9th lion ate the sun. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, And this is actually the 9th lion eating his son we find in the entire game. Oh, of course. This was a real 9th lion. But if that was the case... Memento mori, guys. Remember death. I purposefully did this. We are going to need, yet again, a key, a username and password. And I purposefully did not write them down because their reveal was kind of big enough that I think you guys should remember them. And no, I am not going to jump back to go see what they were. I know what they were. Do you guys know? Oh boy, people were paying attention. Kurashiki. Chukito. Can confirm. That's what I said when I said jump. Sneaky.
Sigma!
Oh boy. Are you guys ready for plot?
Look!
You're...
Akane. Her name is Akane Kurashiki. They've been looking for her for a very long time.
He walked toward her, slowly, carefully, almost as if he was afraid of scaring her away. He reached out.
She's a hologram.
Temyuji squeezed his eyes shut.
Akane.
He closed his hand around empty air and let it fall to his side. There was a moment of sad silence, and then she began to speak.
I see you finally arrived. I've been waiting for you. Well, I suppose that's slightly inaccurate. What you see now is a holographic message I recorded before you came here. Unfortunately, this means I will not be able to answer your questions, at least not directly. I hope you will understand. Now, where to begin?
God, holy shit.
You probably have a great many questions.
Oh, you didn't even know, lady.
What day is it? Where are we? Who is Zero? And what does he have to do with Akane Kurashiki? But I imagine there is one question that rises above all the others. Why were we brought here? The answer to that is simple. Everything that has happened here is part of our plan. All of this was required for the success of the AB project.
And that is?
I assume you've heard the name by now, at least.
Yeah, multiple times, but what is
In
it?
any event, you were all needed in order to execute our plan. The Nonary game was necessary for the same reason. Your question now, I imagine, is just what is this AB project? The answer to that is also simple. Allow me to explain. We created the AB project for one purpose: to transport the consciousnesses of two people into the past. Those two people are you, Sigma, and you, Phi.
What? What do you mean the past? the moment the words were out of my mouth, I realized no one there could answer the question. Not Phi, not Tenyoji, and certainly not a pre-recorded hologram.
Have you figured out what this room is? I assume you saw the Q on the door. It stands for quantum. That makes this the quantum room.
Okay. It took me a moment to realize she'd changed subjects without even pausing. There was nothing we could do, of course, but I still felt a twinge of frustration.
Take a look at the rear of the room. Do you see that large enclosure? That houses our quantum computer.
Holy!
The systems that control this entire facility run on that machine.
Was that where the rabbit is?
That includes the construct you referred to.
Yay! We found Rabbit's house!
As well as the golems.
Yo, we found the rabbit hole.
All of them do their thinking in that box. Isn't that strange, though? It seems contrary to how we perceive the world. The body, the thing that you see and interact with, is somewhere else. But the mind and all its thoughts are in this box. Perhaps it isn't so strange, though. Perhaps humans are the same, with our minds and thoughts existing.
We've heard this
separate
spiel
from
before,
our
lady.
bodies. Our core is in our head, of course.
We heard this spiel before from arguably a far better character than you, Rip Golem.
We all have individual brains, think individual thoughts, and act according to individual wills. That makes communication difficult, though. So, we're forced to rely on inefficient mediums, like language, photographs, non-verbal cues, etc., to transmit information. Each one of us is an individual, and we have no direct connection to anyone else. But, is that really true? In the dimensions we are most familiar with, yes,
Oh, no.
it is. If we look at things from another higher dimension, however, we may all be connected after all, like the branches of a tree or a rhizome.
Holy shit, I can't speak slow. I know!
Imagine a horizontal cross-section of the root system of a large tree.
But it fits her character.
All you can see are the spots where the roots intersect the plane of your cross-section. In the two dimensions you see, the roots all appear to be individual things with no connection to one another. But this isn't the case. If you expand your view and look at the root system in 3 dimensions instead of only 2, you see the truth.
She can speak a fucking whole 2 or 3 words faster. Yes, but you have to realize that Sigma is a bit on the dim-witted side and as thus slow. He needs people to speak slowly for him to understand what he is being told. TLDR, Sigma's an idiot. She's speaking slowly probably because of Sim.
All the roots join together at the trunk.
Or at least that's my headcanon. Feel free to disagree if you want.
In 2 dimensions, they appear to be separate. But if you look at the roots from a 3rd higher dimension, you see things that might appear to be separate from one another in 3 dimensions could be connected to one another if you look at them in 4 dimensions.
Call him voicing dumb, because he is! I love the dude, but goddamn, he's an idiot. How big is Sigma's dick? I think he referred at some point in this novel that he's packing 12 inches.
Doesn't that at least seem like it could be a possibility? I believe that is how human consciousness actually works. Well, I'm not the only one, I suppose. Zero and I share that belief.
Morphogenetic field theory.
Why do you know that? Tenyoji mumbled something that sounded like nonsense. I opened my mouth to ask him what it meant, but Akane was already talking again.
dimension, I'm referring to the fourth dimension used in Minkowski space-time. Let's start with a single dimension, where all that exists is a point.
God damn it, Aura.
Connect points to one another, and you have a line.
One dimension. Two dimension.
In one dimension, the only surface you can
Oh,
create is
zero
that,
dimension.
a
One
line.
dimension. Two dimension.
But move to two dimensions and create more lines, and you can create shapes. These are two-dimensional surfaces.
Three
Move up to
dimension.
three dimensions, and you can connect these shapes to one another and form three-dimensional objects.
Lines, planes, objects.
Now you have a three-dimensional surface, which encompasses a volume of space.
Hypercubes.
Three-dimensional objects to one another, and you formed a four-dimensional object, which encompasses a volume of both space and time. It is on that fourth dimensional axis that our minds are connected. If that was true, then what would prevent anyone from sending their consciousness backward or forward in time?
What is this?
That theory is the foundation of the AB project.
Should I take notes? I don't know.
The A represents after, and the B represents before. It probably sounds silly to you. A ridiculous story made up by a bad old woman. But look at what's happened to you. You've seen many different worlds and timelines, haven't you, Sigma? And what about you, Phi? I know you have too.
I just remembered I need to do something real quick, guys. I'm sorry. Give me like a minute. And donezo.
Am I wrong? Tenmyoji should know what I'm talking about as well. I believe you experienced something very similar nearly half a century ago. You sent your consciousness to the past.
Wait,
to
half a
save a little girl's life. It was a long time ago, but perhaps you still remember.
Yeah, of course I do. How could I forget? That little girl was you, Akane.
Holy shit! Suddenly it felt like Fly and I were outsiders, trespassing on something we had no right to see. Temyuji's face was taut with emotion as he looked into Akane's eyes. It seemed almost like she was holding back at him. She was looking back at him.
Now, unfortunately, my time is up. The final stage of the project will begin very soon. I need to go prepare. The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story. So come and find me.
This is something that really irks me. But yeah, this is a big reveal. I'm not gonna hide it anymore. Tenmyoji is in fact our old friend Junpei.
I'll be waiting. One last thing. The cat in the box. Is it alive? Or is it dead? Sigma? Phi? You will decide its fate. Goodbye.
Wait! Akane, wait!
Oh, Tenmyoji. I can almost see you. You don't need to worry. Everything is going to be okay. I will see you again one day. I promise. to have to ask you to wait just a little longer.
Wait. Akane!
And then she was gone. Temyoji collapsed to his knees, his back hunched and shaking. I saw tears land on the white-knuckled fists he pressed against his thighs. I kept quiet. What was there to say? Fly and I looked at one another and nodded silently. With a shaking hand, Temyoji pulled a photograph out of his pocket. It was a picture of a girl. After all that we'd been through, her smile was enough to break her heart. We made our way to the warehouse on floor A and met up with the others. It took only a few minutes to decide to head to the infirmary. As soon as we arrived, we began to treat Alice and Quark for Article 6. I gave Luna the accelerator that I'd found in the key room. She quickly prepared it and... injected Alice and Quark.
Thank goodness. It will take some time for them to recover completely, but they should be fine. Good.
Indeed.
Thank you, Luna. And thanks for finding the medicine, you guys. Thank you so much.
Don't sweat it.
No need to thank us.
Temyoji said nothing, just walked over to Quark's unconscious body. He took the small boy's hand in his own and held it tight. I could see tears at the corners of his eyes as he turned away from us. Yeah, just let him have a moment with the kid. Suddenly I remembered. Dio, where had he gone? It didn't take me long to find him. Yo, sirs, you're right, asshole. He was sprawled, unconscious, on the floor beneath the thing. Sorry about that, guys. Got distracted with something. Oh, handcuffs?
Oh, we found those in the crew quarters.
Oh yeah, the one's holding the door.
Before you returned, we went to check on the bomb in room 2, and we found them there. Of course, the bomb was indeed turned off. Thank you again for dealing with them. You are, quite literally, lifesavers. You have my eternal gratitude.
Don't mention it, bruh. I coughed awkwardly and looked pointedly around the room. I glanced over at Fly to see she was doing the same thing. Yeah, blush all you want. After that, we headed back to the Floor A warehouse to play the AV game. Specifically me, Fly, Kay, and Luna. This is Kiro the Zenyatta. You know, I've heard that joke / comparison so many fucking times. Oh my god. Luna would represent Clover's team. With Quark and Dio sleeping, Kay will represent their team by default. Which left me, Fi, and Temyoji. You should vote.
No, I'll let you handle it. I chose Betray in the last round. You probably don't trust me right now.
What? That doesn't matter now.
Excuse me, I apologize for interrupting, but I think you should be the one to vote in the next round fight.
Why?
You already have 9 BP, There's no reason for you to choose betray now. You see?
Hey, you're acting like I might actually try and betray her.
Not necessarily.
What does it matter what he's suggesting? We're almost there. We just have to play the A-B game 3 more times. Then we can all get 9 points. But that means each representative has to choose ally all 3 times.
Oh yeah. We can all get out!
Okay, I'll vote. You sure you're alright with this, Sigma?
Yeah, I trust you. I handed her the star key.
Shall we open the doors?
Oh my god, we're actually here when the door's open for once.
An ambidex 45.
Oh, right. We have to wait for the deadline.
Oh. Well, we could vote earlier, but then each voter would be stuck inside the AB room for 45 minutes.
Okay, let's go back to the infirmary then.
I agree. Please, lead the way.
Luna and Kay set off toward the yellow door. I was about to follow when...
Hold on.
What now?
I just remembered something.
What?
The AB room on the left. In one of the other histories, she...
Fuck, she's right! Akane's body was in there. What does this mean? Why didn't we find her body this time?
Maybe because she wasn't murdered.
But how? When did history change?
Do you remember what Akane said?
The cat in the box. Is it alive or is it dead? Sigma. Fine. You will decide its fate.
The Schrodinger's cat thing.
Exactly.
I wonder what she meant about deciding its fate.
Perhaps she was saying her own fate wasn't decided yet.
Huh?
The history where she's alive and the history where she's murdered are both real right now.
What? No, that's impossible. We've already opened the box. We opened the door to this AB room and there was no body.
No, we haven't opened the box. We haven't found a body, but we haven't found her alive yet either. In other words, we haven't actually observed her. The hologram was a recording from before this game started.
The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story. So come and find me.
Nanner nanner.
I'll be waiting.
Where was Akane now? Where was she waiting for us? Or... what if she wasn't anywhere now? What if she was waiting for us in another timeline? Or what if she was waiting for us in the past? Was that even possible? If she was, what would that mean? Okay. So now we start getting crazy shit to happen. To be continued? Yeah, fuck that, we're going. Okay. Destination. Wait. Wait, what? What the f- ow. Damn it. Feels like my head's gonna explode. Wait. Where the hell am I? So this is just the start of the game again? Looks like an elevator, but...
No, this is one of the AB rooms.
Yeah! What the hell are you? What the hell's an AB room?
Damn. I guess you did lose your memory after all.
Memory? Memory. Whoa, what the hell? I remember. You're Fi. She grinned. When is this?
Check your bracelet.
It's a red pair. BP is 3.
Mine's the same.
Does this mean this is the beginning of the game? We've gone back to when we first woke up in the AV room?
No, not quite. I think we woke up a little earlier this time.
How do you know?
Push the buttons on the side of your bracelet.
2 hours, 15 minutes.
We didn't wake up this long before the primary doors opened last time. I think we're about an hour early.
Wait a minute. If you're right,
Yeah, Akane might still be alive. We got back before Dio killed her, I think.
then
Right. We're here for one...
oh, you're not serious. To stop her from getting killed.
Exactly.
Let's move. We need to get out of here fast.
Don't need to tell me twice. Let's go.
Holy hell. Alright, this is our past, remember? This means history. Oh! Fuck that, you're right! See if we figured it out last time. That's... holy hell, that's... Does this do anything? Okay, I opened it. No! Oh my god, she actually has dialogue for that? I didn't know that. Yo, that's so cool! There, it's open. Good work. Hurry up and grab the cracker. What the hell? No one would actually get that. When you first clear this room normally, in the playing the game, right? Sigma says he grabs the cracker, the key out of the safe. And now, fucking 31 hours later, Fi makes a reference to that. I never noticed this until my like 3rd playthrough. For God's sake, just do it already. Alright, good. What do you think? I know. 10, 9, 8, 1, done. This seems why we write it. Hey, you pushed the button. Bite me, you were taking too long. On a schedule here. Oh my god. These scenes at the end now are really cool. Fine, I climbed up through the hatch and out onto the top of the AB room. It took us only a moment to spot them. Akane! Behind her was Zio. He was moving quickly and quietly, a knife glinting in his right hand. Shit! Yeah, okay, Spagooters, because I don't know if you were here or not. This is what we got. And, stuff happened, and we're like, shit, maybe we can go to the past. And we did! me see this. I'm curious. There was no time to yell at her. I scrambled down from the top of the A-view. If I wasn't following me, when I looked back, she was still standing on the roof. Fuck, what are you doing? Get down here and... Before I could finish, she moved. She ran across the roof, launched herself into the air. Nice! You'll fucking deck him. What the...
He's fine. Just unconscious.
It bent down and held my fingers in front of his mouth. He was still breathing.
I don't think he saw me. He probably has no idea what happened to him.
Guy went down like a sack of potatoes.
He had it coming.
You can say that again. I heard footsteps come to a stop right in front of us.
So you came. I've been waiting for you. You're here to hear the rest, right?
Wait a minute. What the hell is your deal? How can you be so calm? If we hadn't shown up just now, you'd...
Have been stabbed in the heart by this young man and died. Yes. Although, that reminds me, I haven't thanked you yet. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate you saving me.
That... What?
Hold on. How do you know about being stabbed by Dio? Are you an Esper too?
Yes. Indeed I am. I am able to jump through time, just like you.
Then what the hell were you thinking? If you knew he was gonna stab you, why were you gonna let him do it?
Because I had to.
You what?
Think back. Why are you here? If I hadn't been killed by Dio, no one else would have been murdered. Consequently, your own abilities would never have manifested. I did explain, didn't I? The purpose of the AB project was to send the two of you to the past. Or your minds, at least. In order for that to happen, some death was necessary. When a human brain is faced with danger, its processing speed increases. Information is processed more quickly, and time almost seems to slow. A few seconds can feel like an eternity.
Where's this going?
Unfortunately, that in itself isn't enough to send oneself through time. The amplitude of the consciousness is simply too small. In order to increase the amplitude, we need to slow down the brain before the increase happens.
Wait.
It's a little like a slingshot. You pull back on the rubber band and then let go. The potential energy you stored in the band is released and converted into kinetic energy. That's what fires the bullet out of the slingshot. Now, while a slingshot can only fire in one direction, your mind isn't similarly limited. When the bullet of your consciousness is fired from the slingshot of your brain, it travels past the three-dimensional world and into the four-dimensional one. From that perspective, time is no longer fixed. In other words, you can travel to the future, the past, whenever you like.
Holy shit.
Your consciousness has been released from the three-dimensional cage. In order for that to happen, I had to infect you with Radical 6.
What? Oh, what?
We're infected with Radical 6?
Yes. Don't you remember, Sigma? Luna should have told you about it in another timeline.
Are you sure? Infecting all of these people with such a horrible disease?
Every single one of you has been infected.
Hold on. Whoa. Oh, holy sh... They thought of everything, didn't they? Holy shit. All that's certain is that when someone puts on the bracelet, they get poked. Fuck, wow. Alright. Call me impressed. I didn't remember that. Whoa.
Well, apart from Luna, of course. Unfortunately, it was necessary. We needed to slow your minds in order to store up your potential energy. Then we provided a dire situation that would accelerate your processing speed. The result is what you are now experiencing. Your consciousness now occupies four-dimensional space-time. Even that, however, wasn't enough.
Jesus, just how much power do you need?
You had the ability to travel, but your memories could easily be lost during the trip. If the project was to succeed, you had to be able to retain everything you learned in each reality. That was the reason you were forced to jump so many times. With each jump, your ability to remember improved. Eventually, you would be able to retain everything.
This, going back just a bit in this text. This line specifically. You had the ability to travel, but your memories could easily be lost during the trip. Hakari, remember like a week ago when I said there was a reason why I was using the memo function and not Notepad? Apparently it's not as apparent, if at all, in the PC release. And I don't know how it was in the Vita version, but at least in the 3DS, the memo function worked just fine. But every single time you jumped after writing something, the text would start doing this. All over. Whatever you had written started to get fucked up. And it was hard to see what you were remembering. Like, it was really subtle. I barely noticed it, but it clicked for me and I was like, yo, that is so cool. Like, and that's just it. If it's something that only happens on the 3DS because of its hardware limitations, that's even crazier, in my opinion. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's called brain memory. Like, when I saw this line in my first time playing it, the first thing I did, well, obviously, I had to write in the passwords to even get here, and by this point, I'd already noticed, dude, the quality of my writing is so bad, what happened? When I read that fucking one line, and I noticed my text being messed up again, I was like, dude. It's not even a big thing, but it's something incredibly minor. It has no, like, little to no relevance to the plot, but it's such a small detail that makes it just adds so much flavor. Did it happen in this version of the game? No. Which is why I am 100% inclined to believe that it was a hardware limitation on the 3DS. Again, if that was the case, that's even cooler in my opinion, you know? Like, Jesus.
That is why we made you play the AB game.
Okay, so I'm kind of sick of you saying we.
That was why you had to select different chromatic doors. By forcing specific choices, we could cause you to make more jumps.
I get it. I think I finally understand. Well, okay, there are a lot of things I don't understand, but all of what you just told me makes sense. You did all of this so that Fi and I could jump through 4-dimensional space with our memories intact. Right?
Yes.
But why did you need us to do that? People have died for this. I mean, let's count how many different ways people died. Murder, any matter explosion, suicide. I've died. So has Fi. So have you. So why would you do all this? What does it matter if Fi and I can jump through time?
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. You are all destined to die. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
I already know all that. What I'm asking you is why? What is so goddamn important that it's worth all this?
Ah. I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
What? Just when is eventually?
In a future not very far from now.
Bullshit. That's not good enough. Why can't you tell us now? Instead of answering, Connie knelt down next to Dio and picked his knife up off the floor.
I'm going to keep this with me.
Don't change the subject.
But it's almost time.
What are you talking about? We've got plenty of time.
No. In a few moments, you'll return to the original timeline.
What?
This is the way it has to be. Don't fight it. Logomorph.
Yes.
Logomorph?
You call him Zero Jr. His official designation is Logomorph. Logomorph, this is an order. Unlock my bracelet.
Compliance.
Now, everything is in place. I have put the bracelet onto Dio. All we have to do is place his body in the 5th AB room, the second one from the right.
That's the one Quark is in, right?
Correct. I will move him. I will also put your bodies back into the 3rd AB room. Once that's done, I will reset its puzzle to an unsolved state.
Why do you need to do all that?
To recreate the history that you remember. Your consciousness is about to leave your body and return to the future. Your body will be emptied, and your other consciousness will jump back in. If your bodies aren't back in the 3rd AB room by then, it would be bad.
So you're saying some version of us is going to wake up in that room and repeat the same history again? Well, I guess this could actually be our 2nd or 3rd time.
You are exactly correct. Lastly, I'm going to leave this with you.
She paused and pulled something out of her pocket. It was a small key attached to a string.
I'll tie it onto your ankle so that you won't lose it. All right, Sigma?
What's it say on there?
Tu fui ego eris.
It's Latin. It means, what you are, I was. What I am, you will be.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do with it?
It will help you meet someone who's very important.
What?
Go. Return to the future. You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you. Now hurry.
Wait, I still... We're continuing now. This ride does not stop until it's over. And indeed, there's more at the bottom.
Oh, looks like you're awake.
Doing something of my own volition. Oh, that's what it was. Alright. Then we have everything. Good. Is this the infirmary?
Why are we here?
Do you know what happened at the AB gate?
Kay and I went back to the infirmary, but
We waited and waited, and the two of you never returned.
so we went to the warehouse to check on you.
We found you passed out in front of the AB rooms.
Kay and I hurried back here with you.
I looked over at Fi and met her eyes. Do you remember what happened just now?
You mean what happened a long time ago?
Yeah. You got him pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I remember all right.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Yo, he's up? Pork!
What am I? Top liver?
You'd be better off as, for sure. Alice!
Back among the conscious and not psychotic, huh?
Yeah, thanks. Grandpa told me what you did. Thanks for finding the medicine for us.
No problem. All in a day's work. Although, I wouldn't mind a little swimsuit at— Fuck it!
Really grabbing at straws here, aren't you?
Hey, I wasn't talking to Pork. That was an offer for Alice.
Not really my point.
Whatever. Forget about that. Now that you guys are awake, all we gotta do is open the number 9 door.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Look at your bracelet.
Just how long were we out for?
I've got 15 BP? That means I got 6 more points while I was out.
But how?
You've been asleep for more than 2 hours.
3 rounds,
We've
alright.
played the AB game 3 times.
3 times?
Yes. Of course, the color and group assignments were shuffled around each time. But no matter who voted, everyone chose Ally.
Boom, boom, boom.
And now all of us have enough to leave.
This puts a big ass smile on my face, not gonna lie. I was stunned. How had everyone cooperated long enough to raise all our BP past 9? Was it because Akane hadn't been killed? Without a death to start things off, maybe we've been less suspicious of one another. Or could the bombs have had something to do with it? We'd all joined forces against Zio, and Fi and I had been able to disarm all of them. All of us had banded together against a common enemy and overcome a tremendous threat. Perhaps that had strengthened our bond. Which, I have to admit, would be somewhat ironic. After all, Dio had planted the bombs that forced us all to work together against him. This must have been what Akane was talking about.
Haven't I told you death was unavoidable? Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
Yeah, whatever.
Come on, let's go! Let's open the door and get out of here!
Wait. What about him? After some discussion, we decided to leave Dio behind. Alice was the only holdout. She'd complained about wanting to take him back to her superiors. But after I mentioned they'd come back to investigate after we escaped and deal with Dio then, she reluctantly complied.
Alright, let's get going.
No one is beyond redemption unless your name is Dio. No matter what the context is, if your name is Dio, you have no salvation. You're just destined to be a fuck up. Everybody ready? I'm gonna open it.
Yes, just get on with it.
Everyone else swallowed and nodded. I grabbed the lever and pulled it down. You know it's the good end because we're ditching Dio.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Alright everybody, let's move. I didn't need to tell them twice. The room inside was clearly a loading elevator. It looked sort of like a large plate on top of a huge pedestal. We ran to the center of the plate and turned around. The number 9 door stood wide open.
2, 1, 0. The number 9 door is closing.
And for once, we're all on the other side. We're done! It's over. It's finally fucking over.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game.
Cue the credits.
Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked.
Looks like we did it.
Yes, we should keep moving.
Beyond the door was a wide hallway that ended in a very solid wall. To the left, we found a very familiar looking door. We pushed it open and went in. Oh yeah, the PEC. We saw this in the Dio route. The pressure exchange chamber.
You know what this place is?
Yeah, sort of. This whole facility is pressurized, apparently. I think the idea is to keep the air outside and consequently the virus from getting inside. That means that if we want to go out, we have to decompress so we match the outside air pressure. This room here is where you prepare for going into the actual pressure exchange room. You see all those suits along the wall? I figure we need to put those on and head to the decompression room downstairs.
Whoa! Hold on a minute! You're saying the air outside is full of that horrible virus?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Of course, according to Akane, we were already infected with Article 6, so the whole room seemed a little pointless. True.
Why? How did all this happen?
Did they?
No, that's not possible.
We've come this far. We can't turn back now.
Wait.
Let's go outside. There's no way to know what's really going on until we do.
Well, dude,
All right.
how are you gonna go outside with us? When all subjected, we all donned the protective suits and headed downstairs to the decompression room. How does Kay get out? As soon as we were all inside, the process began. Through my helmet, I could hear the soft hiss of air being sucked out of the room. We stood there for several minutes, waiting for the process to finish. At last it did, and we heard the door begin to open. If I remember correctly, there's like 3 stages to decompression. Beyond it was another decompression chamber. We repeated the process 2 more times before we reached the final door and opened it. Yeah. And we're out. The dead, bleak landscape wasn't a surprise for me. I'd seen it before, in another timeline. The others hadn't, however, and although I couldn't see their faces through the visors of their helmets, I heard more than a few gasps over the radio. Over the radio. It's late. For a few long moments, we just stood there, astonished.
Where the hell are we?
The desert, I guess?
I figured that out. I mean, which one?
I don't know, but I think I know what day it is. Look at the moon. It's red, right? That means today's the total lunar eclipse.
So?
Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was going to be on
Right.
December 31st, 2028.
I'm surprised Clover even remembers that.
So,
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
Come on, such mad delay, it isn't funny. Refresh the stream or something, it should help.
I think so.
Wherever we were must have been far away from any city. The air was clearer than I had ever seen it. And the stars, the sky was full of them. More stars than I'd ever seen in my life. I could even spot the hazy arm of the Milky Way. But the most striking feature was the moon. It was blood red and massive, much bigger in fact than I remembered it being. Then, as I watched, a black spot began to move across its surface. It was hard to see details, but it looked circular. The spot continued to move across the moon, heading for the right edge. What's that?
The moon. Well, the moon's shadow, actually.
The moon's shadow? I frowned. That didn't make any sense.
Zero told me to stay quiet. I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation. He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just kill me. He'd kill Quark, too. And I agreed, like an idiot, and brought Quark with me. Just so I could see her. Such an idiot. So, that being the case, might as well start with this. I meant what I said before. That up there is the moon's shadow.
What the hell are you saying?
Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
No way.
That's Earth?
Yeah. It's not the red moon you get from a lunar eclipse. And again, this isn't a lunar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse. Anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon, covering the sun.
What? No, no way. If that's the Earth, then where the hell are we?
The moon, of course. This is the lunar surface. We were just inside a moon base. No
What?
way. No, you've gotta be lying. How do you expect us to believe that? This can't be the moon.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. Besides, if this was the moon,
gravity. The moon only has 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. So what's this?
She picked up a rock and dropped it.
See? That looked perfectly normal.
Yes, it looked that way.
Luna?
You were right about the gravity in a way. I was one of the people who knew this wasn't Earth. Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but
Excuse me? What?
please just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6. Then we gave you the Excelavir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while.
What symptoms?
Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6. It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed. Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed.
We knew this already.
If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408. That means our brains are running at something slightly less than half speed. As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's. The time that it takes for an object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration. Since the gravity is lower on the moon, that means the time increases. I guess that's a little technical. Let me give you an example. Say you drop an apple from a height of 4.9 meters. It will take approximately 1 second to hit the ground.
Oh boy, physics.
On the moon, however, I used 4.9
Fuck.
meters because it matches up with the acceleration
That
of
would have to be
gravity
1
nicely.
second times root
But it could
6,
be anything.
which would be approximately 2.45 seconds. I used 4.9 because it matches with the acceleration of gravity, but it could be anything.
The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters and it would be the same. Does that make sense? So now we've established that on the moon, things fall root 6 times slower than they do on Earth. That being the case, what would happen if someone's brain slowed down by root 1/6?
Things would look normal.
To them, 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second. 4.9 seconds would feel like 2. But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us.
Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the weaker gravity?
Are you sure you didn't notice anything? Think back. Huh? You and Sigmund Phi said something about it in the lounge.
Oh shit.
About how you felt weird.
It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating. Like that?
Yo. It seemed insane, but what Luna said made sense. In fact, it explained Phi's apparently superhuman strength quite well.
Wait, this is crazy. That can't possibly be Earth out there.
I had to go after I got into the PC. What did I miss? We're on the moon!
Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth and it's blue and green and beautiful. That thing is just red.
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something. This isn't New Year's Eve in 2028. Today is January 27th.
In 29?
No,
Don't tell me. 30?
still no.
And just what year is this?
It's 74. 2074.
It's what? $45 ago.
I don't blame you if you don't believe me, but it's the truth.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd, 2074. Solar eclipses are easy to predict. 180,000 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped on Hiroshima.
Jesus Christ. Why?
I suppose it started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada. On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident. Well, accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. And the point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there, then escaped.
Not just these 6.
Didn't take long for it to spread to the rest of the world. Like Luna explained, the virus slows your brain down. But eventually, it also makes you kill yourself. Pretty soon, the bodies started to pile up.
Yes, Demon, shut up.
Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot themselves in the head. You know, the classics. But for some, it was poison, or fire, or asphyxiation, or the noose. Plenty of people jumped in front of trains or cars. One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground. Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed, and thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation.
Holy shit.
Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses, covered in flies and rats and crows. I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a lot like that. After a while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another. They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple meetings. There was only one thing to discuss, of course. How could they get rid of Radical 6? The answer, they decided, was purification. They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth and that'd kill the virus off for good. On April 13th in 2029, they put their plan into effect. That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors.
Why? That has bad idea written all over it.
Now the truth is, that's mostly just rumor. Nobody really knows what happened. But I've got my own theories. I think that the bombers had already been infected, and when they died, they took billions with them. The ultimate if I die, you're coming with me gesture, I suppose. I bet you money they'd all lost it long before they got to the reactors. Killing most of the world, no matter how bad things had gotten, was not a sane plan. Even if it wasn't directly responsible, Radical 6 killed most of the people on Earth. Anyway, why it happened isn't that important. Point is, it happened. You ever heard of nuclear winter? Well, that's basically what we got. The explosions threw a ton of crap up into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from all the fires. It blotted out the sun for 7 years. Plants withered and animals died by the millions. The few humans who were left banded together to survive. They were rough times. Eventually they were over, though. The sky cleared and the sun came back.
7 years without Jesus.
Plants started blooming again, and the animals that hadn't died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now, but there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. That's what you're seeing. You know why a sunset's red? Well, this is the same thing. Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it'll get a lot farther when the air's dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere.
That's how much stuff. Oh. I was speechless. What could I possibly say? There was no reason for technology to light us. So we were standing on the moon, looking at the Earth. It was 2074. But why? Why were we there? Why were we then? I was so lost in thought I barely noticed Fi's approach.
Hey, Sigma. I think I figured something out.
A window popped up on the inside of my helmet with whisper in the corner. She seemed to be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is it?
I figured out why there's an extra E.
An extra E? Oh, you mean the graffiti?
Yeah, the one on floor B. I think it's an anagram, just like on floor A.
We'd already established that, but you didn't figure out what it was. What's Anna say this time?
God damn it, Sigma! Knock it off!
Nice.
Memento mori if the ninth lion ate the sun. If you rearrange the letters, you get... The man on the moon rules the infinite time. See? You need 6 E's to get that. So they stuck an extra one in ninth.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AB project for one purpose. To transport the consciousnesses of 2 people into the past.
We heard this like
Those 2
50 minutes ago.
people are you, Sigma, and you, Vi.
Honestly, it was well timed. Yeah, after like the soul-crushing exposition, like, yeah, it's understandable. And I'm with you on that, Hikari. That part fucking destroyed me when I first played this, and like, it still does every single time I do. Like, it just hits you really hard. So, what are you getting at? Like, cause like, even knowing the twists and turns, the way Tenmyoji talks about his reality is, it's, yeah.
My God, you're slow.
Told you.
You don't get it? They're saying we rule the infinite time. Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're gonna send us back 45 years?
Yeah, I'd bet on it.
So the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Tenmyoji was talking about?
I think so.
That doesn't make sense though. I mean, we came from that same time period. Before it, actually. So why bring us here and then send us back?
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea. Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
Tu fui ego eris.
The grave. The one in the garden.
Well, come on, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
We turned and ran back into the pressure exchange chamber. The others following close behind.
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
We're gonna go have a talk with somebody.
Who?
You really need me to spell it out? The person behind all this.
You mean Akane?
What?
I'll take that as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please. I'm coming with you. You folks just said the magic word.
I'm going
Akane.
to then. So am I. Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're serious?
Yep, Clover just made the connection too. Holy shit.
What the hell is going on?
Ah, shut up. Just shut up. Come if you want to. We don't need to do roll call. Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back to the airlock. I don't know why, but people figuring out that Tenmyoji, like, the reveal that Tenmyoji is Junpei is probably, like, the biggest one in the game for me. Like, it's so massive. Like, Jesus Christ. I love it. And this is the first time ever that, have you guys ever heard of loopholes? Zero let one in.
Ah, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. But the door on floor B...
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift to it. And it looks like I was right.
Any idea where Akane might be?
Yeah, the grave.
You mean the grave in the garden?
Yeah, don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's alive. I figured out Tenmyoji, back in, over here. No? Yeah, when we first saw the director's office for, Tenmyoji's ending, I had an idea who he was. Like, it totally points to that, but there's no guarantees, so I just discarded it as something like, whatever. And then Q route happens and you're like, yeah, fuck it, it is him. She's alive, just in the grave. Anyway, let's move. To the garden. Also, I find it kind of poetic that this is where we're ending up. Q route as in the route with room Q in it. I call it Q route subconsciously.
Is Akane really under here?
I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole in the grave? If I just insert this here, I pulled the key off my ankle and fitted it into the hole. I twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. There's another one?
It doesn't look like a coffin.
Yeah, it's a treatment pod.
Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. You couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
She grabbed a hold of the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1 defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes. Once stage 2...
Whatever it'll unlock on the right, cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called TAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So, Ms. Akane's like an ice cube?
I think so.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Everything. I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number.
Curiously, it's Rhizome 9.
There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one. Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning.
English! Let me start from the start.
You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension.
The aha moments.
That was the reason for the puzzles.
This is the exact same reasoning that Ace gave us for the puzzles being in 999's Nonary game, right?
Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Wait, hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi. But what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple.
Yeah, that's the real question.
In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes, I suppose I should explain.
Yeah, you really should.
Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand. First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility.
Holy fuck!
The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes,
Whoa!
in preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Okay, so, well, at least you got that sorted out of the way. I don't know who it was who called that 2 of the treatment pods in the treatment center were for these 2. But ding ding ding, you got it right.
Huh?
Holy shit.
But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform a prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him, and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence. Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. And Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover.
He said about instead of able and bomb instead of detonation.
You are able to access the fourth dimension.
Yeah, because he's also
Almost
an
half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying you couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, we headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out, and when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio. His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons.
Again, something we already know.
He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released.
Holy fuck.
If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization.
Such a big shit. Oh my god.
Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility.
This... Holy shit. That's all I can say, just holy shit. Like... I hadn't mentioned this before. Like, I have mentioned this before, but not to everyone here. Reminder that I have not replayed VLR after beating ZTD. So this is my first time playing this game after knowing ZTD's happenings, and I'm starting to see things with a whole different perspective. And my mind is kind of like everywhere inside, except inside my head right now, because it's just all over. Like, holy shit.
They needed to stop the AB project.
I'm kind of speechless at this point.
So, Dio was given two tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed. At least, not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper.
Oh, I can't take this. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Yo.
We can set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed? Excellent. That explains everyone, save two. Luna and myself.
Luna's a robot. Who the fuck are you?
Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time.
Agreed.
Would that be alright with you?
She did nothing wrong. Remember that. Luna did nothing wrong, ever.
Luna?
Yes. That's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
You've already met him, Sigma, in another timeline.
Yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. I still don't know who he is.
Stage 2 is complete. TP00 unlocking.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's say hi to Akane, guys. All of us gathered around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay, let's get started then. Ready?
Fi laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah. Anytime.
Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
No, Jace, if you're gonna hold on for like 10 minutes, I'd advise you to do so. What? Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse at floor B, in front of the white door. Kay was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? It didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with turbo carborine, and that was the end of that. But, wait. If the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse, who was wearing Kay's armor?
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone.
Oh, no way.
I will be at your side, watching over
No fucking way. Oh my god.
Yes, I am.
Akane Kurashiki.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Yo. That's sick. Oh my god.
It's you. June. I mean, Akane. From... But you're old.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Akane, long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me, and it was all I could do not to collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse? Once you saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did at least. I carried your bodies to the third AB room and then took Dio's to the fifth. After that, I went into the first room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you. And then Luna took your body to the sixth room. He couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat. Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
No, that's nuts.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied. He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of Soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
I've never seen him before.
Me either. Total stranger.
Hey, come on. What are you guys saying? Right here? Same face?
Huh? Huh?
Are you alright, Mr. Sigma? Did you hit your head or something?
Huh? What? It didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future. Don't
that
you
mean?
get it? You've jumped to the future. From 45 years ago.
I looked around frantically. A pond. I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees. Crawling on all floors, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, damn it! I struggled to take deep breaths. And slowly, I peered into the pond, looking for my reflection. What? No. This can't be real. His face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb. Although to the
Fuck.
Zero, the mastermind of the AB project. Is you.
Yeah, this twist makes no sense because there is never any reason to ever consider this in any way, shape, or form. It is never hinted at, it is never mentioned at all. However, and don't think I didn't notice, Kureho, I know one of the first clips you took of these streams was a fucking hint at this twist. Don't you even try to hide that. And as several people noticed in the last stream, Dio called us a senile old fuck twice. Everyone keeps making jokes about how we've been taking too long to do shit. Remember specifically the conversation that that I think Alice has with us. We're still finishing our degree, and Alice is like, dude, you must have been working at that for like forever. Like, holy shit, do you have the clip? I could get it. Let me see if I can find it. Correct, we can find it easier, more than that. You have an easier time finding it than I do, if you don't mind. What? No, that's not possible. That's bullshit.
No, it's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
You will be. A pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
Alright, fuck. Let me break the action for just a moment then. How do I get the clips directly? Is it just Twitch/clips or something? No, I don't know how to get the clips actually. Don't worry, I got it. Alright.
No, I'm
lying.
not. You created him.
Basically, if you just... Hence the arms, too.
Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him.
See a fucking last eye. Because there's never, like, he never has a reason to. Create?
His name is Kyle Klein, your clone. That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future. When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor. Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it. It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
Why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place. I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul, or the consciousness. Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin. The past consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch.
Let me check to see if that's the one. 1 second. I think it was in this stream, yeah. Let me just mute it so it doesn't fucking... Where is volume control?
Working on that for quite a while, huh?
Yeah, this one right here. And there are more, honestly. Like, there are an insane amount of hints at this. It's just that there's things that you don't even question, you don't even notice, because like they just flow with normal conversation. You think they're like just making fun of you because everyone makes fun of Sigma, but like, wow, you know?
That was the chief goal of the project.
Wait, so the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this, right?
Yes. Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this.
Again, this all makes so much more sense now.
It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making. A is where everything began. December 25th, 2028.
It also explains why we never actually have a voice for Sigma. Yes, exactly. I completely forgot about that, which is why I had to, like, voice act for Sigma, I guess, but... fuck, you know? There was no way for them to actually give Sigma a voice without completely ruining this one.
You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B. January 25th, 2074. You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9.
So when he listens to himself, you as a person, as a human being, never actually hear your own voice the way it's supposed to sound. In fact, your own voice sounds the same to you at all times. Yeah, like you never notice it changing. Also, Jin, that also does make the OVA really awkward though. The OVA is intentionally misleading. It is one of the bigger fabrications that this game actually has. I want to say that the OVA is actually, like, I'm not going to beat around the bush. The OVA straight up lies to you. And I think it's the only thing, the only piece of media relating to VLR that straight up lies to you. But it had to. If it didn't, it just, like, that's what
You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old.
Sigma is 67. Jesus Christ.
Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future. I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older.
Some parts of these are making sense now. I know, right?
Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out. Moving on, if you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Whoa.
If this is mine or not, I don't care. The way he's curious. For myself, it is not. For some people here, it is. This is my 4th playthrough of VLR, and when I'm done with this, I will eventually start DTD, which is going to be my 2nd playthrough.
Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
But yeah, Demon, I'm gonna have to say, man, stop bringing up DTD as much as possible. If you have to speak about it in some way, bring it up to me in PMs or something. I'd rather have that and like just click outside and talk to you directly than possibly ruin the experience for some of the people watching.
36 hours to be exact.
A day and a half?
Have you already forgotten? You were all infected with Radical 6. The virus slowed your brain down. So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed. But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes. Now comes the important part. After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029. You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late.
Wait, then what's the point?
You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already
happened. Then what's the point?
The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B.
45 years later.
But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body.
What the fuck is this plan?
Until you reach point B. Do you remember when B is Sigma?
January 25th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body?
Point A. December 25th, 2028. The day all of this started.
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
What I was... But once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C.
That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at C.
So it's rotating?
Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path. With one exception.
This line here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility.
Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out. By jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028?
Yes. That is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point, so that we might save humankind from destruction and undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
Jesus. Tell me one thing.
What is that?
You said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But, look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's gonna trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Fortunately, we now have plenty of that, thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness, like a bullet from a slingshot.
And how you're supposed to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death. That can jumpstart your brain. You haven't figured it out. I mean this.
Dio's knife? No sooner were the words out of my mouth. Fi! Oh, holy shit. There was a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut. Something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body, lying on top of me. I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin. Tu fui, ego eris. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. Holy shit. I just lost it. I just lost it. I don't think I'm ready to rewatch CTD. Yeah, rewatch ZTD after this is like, it hits really hard. This is the most fucked up form of time shenanigans I've ever seen in a video game. Yes, but and I said this before, and I've said this multiple times whenever I talk about why I fucking love this series. Yes, it does some really messed up time shenanigans, but it does them incredibly well, first of all. Secondly, the way it handles them works because it's a visual novel. I firmly believe with all of my heart that if you tried to pull this with a manga, an anime, or like a regular video game, it would not work. Not even like, or even traditional media like the book, it would not work. VLR and 999 work and are amazing because they are visual novels. The things they do would not work in any other medium. And oh hey, would you look at that? What is this? What is this? Oh shit! Do you wish to jump? Yes. Would that be cool? Yes. Just be careful because you might run the risk of multiple people.
Today is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news.
You can do that, but be careful because I want to avoid specifically ZTD spoilers, so yeah, do not bring up ZTD. If you want to yell about things that happen here, go right ahead.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So have my... Excuse me. I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
For a moment, I just stared at the TV. The roar of the static seemed to fill the entire room until with a click it disappeared too. Had the power gone out? I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. You.
It looks like the first step was successful.
What the fuck? You killed me!
Killed?
I guess technically you're gonna kill me 45 years from now, but still!
Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
I'm okay?
Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis.
Me and Phi?
Yes. I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump.
Oh!
Now, you know what happens next, right?
We go to the moon?
Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right?
Yes.
What about the third one? Who's in there?
Phi. We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen. That wasn't the Phi who jumped from point C, though. It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D. In other words, she was following the same path you are. And she still is.
Then that means that after you froze her, the point C version of her jumped back into her body?
Yes. The point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years.
sleeping in ice.
Then when she gets to point B, her consciousness will jump to point A, right?
Correct.
Huh. So that's why she didn't look cold. So why don't you just stick me in one of those pods?
We can't do that.
Why not?
You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project. After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines.
How much longer will this go? I want to say like 30 minutes.
Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets.
So basically you're gonna spend 45 years making the shit you just dealt with.
You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin. January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the third AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out. And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
And then I change history? Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die. Only you and Phi can save them.
What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we gonna do then?
You'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
And after that?
I don't know.
What?
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Oh crap. We're screwed.
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility. Things will be difficult, and I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger. But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Wait, how do you know it's so dangerous?
The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
What did I say?
That the test facility is full of traps. There was one point, a woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake, and lost your arms and your right eye.
My arms and my right eye? What the hell? Suddenly a low rumble shook the building. What was that?
Go have a look.
I moved slowly to the window and peered outside. On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly toward the sky. Would we really be able to change the course of history? No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I am going to change history. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. Oh my god, again! in the beginning. Like, yeah, see, man, like, all of these things are, like, hitting me really hard. Oh my fucking god. We're not done. Remember how I said that every single puzzle has a hard mode? If you finish the game beating every single puzzle room on hard, you will unlock this little thing. And yeah, like, okay, I'll be honest. This thing is the sequel bait to end all sequel baits. This game came out in, I believe, 2011. In 2011, we were told Sigma fucks up on his mission to the Mars testing site, loses his arms, loses his right eye. And we were told specifically then and there, that is what ZTD is going to be. ZTD Zero Time Dilemma is in fact the happenings at the Mars testing site. Now, try and imagine you played this in 2011 or 2012 or whatever. You get to see everything from start to finish. You get that bonkers ass ending. And for a good 4 years. More than that, for a good like 5 years almost. Like for 4 years, all you hear from the guy who made this is, I am not allowed to make the last game. I cannot make ZTD. Fan efforts were pushed for like forever and a half. And in late 2015, early 2016, we finally hear, in my opinion, the biggest news for this series in forever. In June 2016, you are going to get the conclusion you so longed for. And it was all because of us. The fans of the series, the ones who wanted to actually see what the hell happened with our characters, with this world that this author built for us, made us love. Zero Time Dilemma is not perfect, but it felt really good to play through it because it was almost a 7-year journey for me, and it felt great to actually have it end. Next time, when I finally start ZTD, we are going to get to see that. But before then, 2 things that I want to showcase before ending things. I am going to really quickly show off the one page I didn't show off just yet. Page 16 of Secret, the one we get from the Q room, has a bunch more things that we hadn't seen yet. Temiogenalis. It tells us like how people found out about certain things. The AB project, it tells us whatever, the mystery of Phi. Again, this is leading so hard into ZTD. Like, they leave us hanging so much on so many things. So, who was Phi? There are a few clues scattered throughout the story, but nothing conclusive. Perhaps the truth will be revealed at the Nevada test site. Again, who the fuck is Phi? Was a question we did not have an answer for over 5 years. And let me tell ya, it's kind of whoa. And last but not least, just a little Easter egg, I guess. Those passwords, they aren't just gibberish. And all of them, they just give us a hint, +1. So, Out of curiosity, let's look at these. These are just the same. Kurashiki and Jumpy Doll do not have any things to them. These four. I deleted them, but I know what they are. Windows R Notepad. A little bit of an Easter egg showcase, I guess, while I can. Where is window capture? It's pointing to Notepad already? Cool. Return to hexadecimal is better than that. Okay. So, Alex, how does it showcase? How does it show on there? Okay. It doesn't even show. Because I'm good. I'm good at this, I swear, guys. Oh no, it's tiny. There we go. Yay, I know how to work a stream sometimes. LXA, QNS, GDQ. +1 on every single letter. For this one, we get my brother. This is the password for bomb number 0. Bomb number 1, BQZ, RGJ, DX, RGJ, DXR. Crash keys. EQD, DYR, NTK. Free Z Soul. And the last one, since I can't type it out because I don't have any more room, is Myrmidons. Yeah, it's a cipher. And it kind of, I felt like slapping myself for not noticing it at first. It's so obvious and yet so fucked up. I love it. But yeah. There's a lot more to the story, but I think we'll stop the secret archives here. Thank you for playing, and we hope you enjoyed the game. I leave that out to you guys as well. I hope you enjoyed this entire ride for VLR. But last but not least, for getting all of the secrets unlocked, we get access to this specific point in the timeline, which we are not even told that it exists. To answer Kureho, is this voice GP for PC, I wonder, since it wasn't for 3DS? It is not. This is only voiced in the English dub. Japanese does not have this at all, in any version.
I see you've finally woken up, Kyle.
Kyle?
Ah, yes, of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
I lurched upright, jumped off the bed, and ran around to the other side of the partition. The mirror over the sink was covered with a film of dirt. I wiped it off with my sleeve, and my reflection stared back at me. There was no mistake. The reflection belongs to
Kyle Climb. So, I'm Dr. Climb? Zero Senior's clone?
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
An excellent question, one I didn't quite know the answer to myself. I knew who Kyle Climb was. In our history, he had been called K and had worn a suit of armor. He hadn't just worn the armor in that history, though. Apparently, he had worn it all his life. Fuck, something I forgot to point out also about the passwords. This is Luna's ID number, and this is her password for us to get to her ending. I'm not gonna say it outright because I don't feel like delving into this. If you guys remember Luna's ending, read this password backwards. That's all I'm saying. Kyle had been born and raised in this lunar installation, which seemed to be called Rhizome 9. Rather late in his life, Akane had appeared as a mother figure, and he had consequently grown very attached to her. I knew everything about him. but even though I knew it, I didn't feel it. Oh, holy shit! Was I really Kyle Climb? Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. The spitting image of Sigma Climb in his younger days. I looked down. Oh, hello! That was Dio, still handcuffed. I turned back around to Luna.
What day is today?
January 27th, 2074.
Today is the last day of the AB project. Akane has explained everything in the garden. And she drew a knife and attacked Phi. How long have I been asleep?
About 5 hours in real time. For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. It should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Yes.
Why am I here?
The doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the doctor is Sigma Climb, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
You got the immaculate Troy Baker. Okay, so this is Troy Baker. I knew I recognized the voice.
Yes, I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
What about the others?
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for instance.
Let's go talk to everyone! Yay!
Oh, right! Mr. Klein!
So the sleepyhead's finally up, huh?
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
Going back home?
You plan to return then? To Earth, I mean.
Yeah.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Klein now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you? You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way. Hell, nature doesn't work that way. You following me? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That all happened. Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not gonna change. In fact, it's because of what he did, or didn't do in the past, that we've got this past and present. Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway. Eventually, they hit a junction. The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast. So one guy, we'll call him S, pipes up. "Let's go northwest," he says. So they take the northwestern road. But about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers. 90 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually they'd gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy and healthy. And they all live happily ever after. That's what you're thinking, right? It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right. Okay, 9 people then. What happens to the reality they were living? Does it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip. Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure.
Hi, Quark.
That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories, friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible and unfortunate. But what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How can it be right to just erase all that? The survivors overcame their own misery and loss and made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt. Isn't that worth something?
Yeah.
Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to? Is there really any point to a world where everything is happy? Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots? Being human is about fighting, even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness, even in a world that hates it. Are you saying that's worthless? If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can Look, I'm just not going to accept that, all right?
Told you, Tom, because the Quark right there.
You get it?
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he right?
No, it's not going to happen. We're here right now. This is reality. Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just going to disappear or something.
We already took Northwest.
Oh, then that means we get to stay together? Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, I imagine. There are likely people waiting for you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told them we'd see him again someday, and then came here.
They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
No point saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep. You were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline, after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr. Sigma anymore.
Of course. He is Dr. Klein now that his consciousness has returned.
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here. Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
And Akane?
Never mind her. She's just like him.
Whoa.
Not the Akane I knew.
Fuck.
She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years. Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kurashiki I know isn't here.
Ouch.
She's not anywhere.
That's fucked up.
In the end, Clover and I were just pawns. Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of. Still, it's not like we were completely resentful. We had to be here to help change the past. That part's easy to understand. But
Kinda sucks, though.
Yep.
I mean, Sigma and Phi have it easy. They get to go back to December 25th in 2028. They'll stop the Radical Six and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to. In other words, they get to go back to Point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen.
But we don't. We're stuck with Point C as our starting point.
You told us about Tenmyoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles? It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
Don't get us wrong. We know why we had to be here. Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But
it's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest. We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
Are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
Yeah, for these, like, admittedly, Clover and Alice kind of got the short end of the stick. I'm sorry for them. Like, I will admit that I give the two of them a lot of shit all game, but like, they probably have the worst ending out of all the characters, if you think about it. In that, they don't have one.
Even if it is for the greater good?
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah, like, hella unfair, even.
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way we could get back to the past.
Let's say you do go back to the past. Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different? How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time, too.
That's ridiculous. It would create a paradox. How could you have two Clovers and two Alices at the same time?
But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way around that.
How on earth does she plan to do that?
Schrodinger's
cat.
Oh, hey, Kyle.
Wow! I cannot believe this. Oh my god. I am so glad I'm replaying this. I am so glad I'm replaying this. Is it just a nickname? It's her nickname and it's her name.
Figured you'd come here eventually.
Demon, I don't think you caught it. I think you didn't. I did. I'm pretty sure Hikari did. He just withholding comment on it. Oh my god.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now. There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
Sure.
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to tell you. However, I imagine there are a great number of things weighing on your mind.
Oh, hella.
I'd love to answer all your questions, but unfortunately, my circumstances make that an impossibility. I hope you can forgive me. Everything I know, Phi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
What does he mean, other than Kyle?
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Right, well, I guess I may as well cut to the chase. Just who are you, Phi?
I'm not Superman, that's for sure. And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or a merman
or a wolfman. Yeah.
I'm not a Brahmin or Kamen or Ramen. I'm not a Cayman either, so you really don't need to worry about anything.
Please don't dodge the question. About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife. That triggered something which sent your mind back to the past, correct? Specifically, you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029.
That sounds very familiar because she said that word for word within the first 15 minutes of the game. There's a reason I know it by heart, to a certain point.
On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody. Although by then you were in cold sleep. You wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there, frozen, until the time was right. Then on January 25th, 2074, you were finally thawed out. Even though you didn't wake up. Still unconscious, you were carried to the AB room. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again. A version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived, pushing you out, and sending you back to December 25th, 2028. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together, you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility. Fortunately, your plan failed. The Radical Six did escape on New Year's Eve. That failure determined the path you followed.
You end up on point D.
Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from point E, you headed straight to point D. Point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that time from the future. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions of you to swap places.
So...
And you moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor. That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you, only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about you got right.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as a kind of X factor.
Level 3?
It's taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
And I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds. Could you please explain?
It's kind of like the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics. Strictly speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2. v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation. Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared, which is the speed of light squared. That means that 1 plus v1 times v2 divided by c squared is usually going to evaluate to something pretty close to 1. Since that would mean dividing by 1, it's usually okay to just skip that step and use v1 plus v2.
So as far as I understand, it's supposed to happen until Sigma 5 branch out the timeline to correct fashion. The original timeline, whatever novelty was successful today. Basically, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I need to find it. 'Cause I know I have it over here somewhere. Admittedly, the game does not do any does not explain it in like simple terms. Where is it? No? Could it be in secret maybe? No, I know it's in files. No, 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 no. Where is it? I skipped over the timeline, did I? Oh yeah, I did. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Basically, this is where the game ended. We jumped back over here for that scene with young Akane, and basically now we're back here, but from the right side. We're going up. Basically, Phi and Sigma get sent from here all the way back to here. Point A is where they arrive. ZTD is point E specifically. If they succeed with their mission in point E, they head right. If they fail, they go forwards. So in every single situation, if they somehow end up back on point C, it's because they failed their mission. What this comes down to is And this is kind of fucked up to say, but this is the true realization of things. VLR is a bad future. Like, they already failed. VLR only happens because something went wrong and they were not able to complete their mission on point E. This is why ZTD is such a big thing. So they set up a continuous loop and guarantees a good and bad future. It doesn't guarantee, it's not a continuous loop. If they fuck up, they just get sent back here, period. It's not a loop. Like, if you just stretch this out, it goes from point A to point B to point C, then to point D. When they crash back into B, they go back down to A, and then they go forward when they crash back into D. Crash into D, they go back to C. This is a straight line. There are no loops. The only thing that happens is point E, which can be a branching path. Emphasis on can. It's not necessarily going to be a branching path. It can be one if Phi and Sigma succeed. So yeah. All of the events in VLR are focused around making this happen and working out for the better of humanity. They basically have two chances. No! They have one chance. They have one chance to do it. They always only have one chance to do it in this timeline. The only reason they get this one chance is because they already fucked up in another timeline, in another history. It's complicated.
You see what I'm saying? In most situations, it works, even if it isn't technically correct. So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about, right? As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
I don't quite understand. In fact, I feel like you're dodging my questions.
So was that what you wanted to ask about?
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028. You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms? And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because it would change history. There is a history where the virus didn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E. In that timeline, humanity isn't heading for annihilation, and Earth isn't red. The future is much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now, then that reality will disappear. You understand?
I don't. Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
You're about to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past. Sigma's past.
I shall give you your answer. You are not Kyle Climb. Your body is Kyle's, but your consciousness is not. Think about it. Do you really believe you're Kyle? Or could you be someone else entirely?
Then, where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
He was thrown out when you entered. Right now, in a manner of speaking, he has arrived at December 25th, 2028. His consciousness has gone into a body from that time. I doubt you know how much the Doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the others, that Kyle was Dr. Climb's spare, but that was not his only purpose. Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve 2028. Its purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
And that is why he created him?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the Doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body did not exist on Christmas in 2028. Does that mean he has entered my body? Have we just switched places?
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? You telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all. You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system. As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now, too. You are about to go into the past and save the world.
At this point, Akane is not talking to Kyle. He is talking to you as the player.
Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help. Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past. Only you can save the world.
There's no way I...
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth?
I sure as hell do, Akane.
Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028?
I did for 5 years.
Well, yes, I do, but...
Then you must believe. Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history.
And this is like the last extremely meta example this game's out to do. If you, as a player, decide to never play Zero Time Dilemma, this is your future. This is what you get. Virtue's Last Reward happens. But if you want to save the world, if you want to change history, you have to go back to ZTD.
The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine.
You just have to go back. Try to fix it.
Remember what I've told you. Only you can change history. Only you can save the world.
And with a total playtime of 33 hours and 16 minutes, we have finished Virtue's Last Reward. There is nothing I can say could possibly end this stream any better than that ending. So I'm just gonna leave you with the simplest thing possible. I'm gonna try to save the world. I'm gonna try to change history and see if I can help Sigma and Phi accomplish what they failed to do on this timeline. Are you gonna be there with me? I hope to catch you then.